Hello there, and welcome to Dive Bar Comedy. We are at episode 32. I am Wild Joe. I'm here with my co-host, GT. What's up?
Man, I started off. My dream was to be like Andrew Dice Clay. You know, my dream was like to be like Eddie Murphy. My dream was I I was I got on stage when I hit the scene. I was acting like a very dirty comic. You know, you can be a really dirt. I was so dirty. I got banned from the Ha Ha Cafe.
Okay. Well, we've talked about this before. I think when you're dirty, you also have to be funny. That's the thing. You can't just be dirty like a gross out comic. Like everybody's heard everything. I mean, I don't know. I gross a lot of people out on accident just because I don't realize that what I'm saying is gross or offensive. But there are some people that are very uptight. There's also some people that are very visual. So when you start to talk about like, I don't know, like dumping cum on somebody's face or something, like they're actually visualizing it in graphic detail and they start to feel like nausea in their stomach and want to barf. Like they're way more affected by it. So you can really disgust some audience members to the point where they just don't like you.
I had some comic tell me that people say GT is a good comedian, but he's dirty. And then I had another comic tell me his name is Go. He always walks around with his guitar. And he tells me that my facial demeanor is so I have this rough face. And when I have this rough face and I'm doing dirty comedy, it just overcompounds it and makes it even worse.
Yeah, I think that's true. I think the way you talk and you're loud and yeah, you have a rough face and like a thuggish look and you sound very serious when you're saying these things that it has definitely a different impact than somebody like me being like, like a cute blonde girl and playful and kind of like I'm just kidding around. So even if we told the same joke, it would come off a lot different for me and you. You have to be aware of how you look too.
It goes back and forth. I have people, tell me how great I am. Can you come up to me, tell me how great I am, this and that, and have such a great presence and give me all sorts of compliments. And then I have people that don't want to talk to me after talking to me the first time. Like they'll see me, and then after my set, they just don't want to talk to me anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think all comics are dirty. Like there's not many comics that are just doing clean jokes. But yeah, it comes across differently when different people do the same kind of jokes. Nobody has ever been offended by my dirty jokes. The only time I offended people was when I did fat jokes, when I did gay jokes, or when I do black jokes or anything like that, because people think like I'm like white privilege and I'm too pretty and skinny to be talking about anybody, like looking down on people, like they think I'm like a snob or something like that.
Yeah, I remember I once did an Armenian event at an Armenian show. I blew the roof off. I was getting such great response, and I was doing really good. I heard the crowd roaring. I didn't hear no silence. It was roaring. And they still didn't want to book me again. They didn't want to book me because they happen to get offended. They've got offended by, I don't know what they got offended by. I'm just trying to go back and try and think. If you ever see an Armenian in a tree, most likely the Armenian up on that tree is the branch manager. Or one day, it might have been something I said, one day I'm going to be like the Tyler Perry of Armenians. I'm going to make movies that I can't believe I married an Armenian virgin part 3. It might have been that. They said I was dirty. I don't know what they're talking about.
I don't know. I wasn't there for that set, but neither of those things sound that dirty. I mean, slightly dirty. I guess the virgin thing is, slightly dirty, although virgins are pretty clean. So I really don't know. I guess I missed it, but Anyway, let's tell the people about our show we have coming up March 28th. We've been doing so many fun shows. We just did Lotus Lounge. If anybody missed it, it will be coming out in some future podcast episodes. We're a little bit backed up right now with a lot of material from past shows still. So that'll be coming out in a few weeks. But we have another great show coming up on March 28th.
Yeah, I'm a Trump supporter. I've always supported Trump since day one, ever since he came down the escalator. I would love to invite him to one of my shows, coming up March 28th at the Liquid Zoo. You think he'll show up?
I really doubt it. This sounds like something that we used to talk about on the Ding Dong Show. The Ding Dong Show is the longest running comedy show at the Comedy Store on Sunset in LA, where every Monday night Don Barris gets together a group of oddballs and homeless schizophrenics and people of that sort, as well as me and GT, to perform music and be interviewed on a panel. Well, before Donald Trump actually became a serious contender for president, he had this guy convinced that he was going to be his running mate. This guy named Neil. Wasn't that his name? Neil, from a mattress store owner. No, it was the mattress store guy. I forgot the name. Neil Leeds. Yeah, he had him convinced that he was going to be running as vice president with Donald Trump, and I don't know how much of it was really serious in their minds or how much was a joke, but it was a big joke until Donald Trump actually won, and then everybody's like, oh shit, this joke went a little bit too far. It's like when you do a practical joke and you're like, oh, just kill yourself, and then the person actually kills themselves. You're like, oh, I was just joking around.
Yeah. Think about it. I used to watch Donald Trump on Twitter before he ran for office, and he was talking about how Hollywood makes movies and they shouldn't be making those violent movies. That's the main reason we got all this violence going down. And he was up there. He used to sit in his office with all those pictures in the back, and he used to talk about giving advice to people. And
you're talking about Donald Trump? Donald Trump was giving this advice?
Yeah, he used to make YouTube videos, and on Twitter. He used to just post stuff on Twitter. He used to be really active on Twitter even before he ran for president.
Well, I actually happen to agree with him. I don't know if that's the whole reason that there's violence in real life is because of violence in movies, but I do find it strange that, you can't have a sex scene on TV or in a movie or some naked boobs. It's a big deal. But people are blowing each other's heads off like all the time on just standard TV shows, video games, and movies. And I'm sure that affects the way, kids that grow up with that and teenagers. It definitely must affect the way people think about murder. It's just an everyday normal occurrence. Not to mention the news, which glorifies every single mass murder. Like Claybold and whatever that shooting was like 20 years ago, the mass school shooting. Columbine. Yeah. Everybody now, all the school shooters have those guys as their idols, and they research these guys, they look up to these guys, they know all about them, and they're copycats. I wish if the news would just not publicize it to the degree that they do, giving the name and the glory to these murderers, maybe there wouldn't be so many copycat people growing up to emulate them.
Yeah. Donald Trump basically ran for president. I don't think he really wanted to be president. I think he was just trying to just have fun, and then it just fell into his lap, and he was, holy crap, this really happened? And when it happened, I think, quite honestly, this is the guy who's been running for he's been always putting his name in the elections, and he's been getting ready to become a president for a long, long time. But he was just messing around with it. At the same time, getting ready just in case if it ever happens. Now, the Democrats going after Donald Trump for his taxes, going back 10 years, they ain't going to do it. This guy has been getting ready to become a president for a long time. 10 years, they probably have to go for 40 years. This ain't going to happen. Trust me.
Well, I don't want to get into a political talk on this podcast because that's not what this show is about. But it is kind of strange she's the only person that didn't release their taxes, and he's probably hiding something. So it'll be interesting to see when it all comes out what the truth is. You know, is he really broke and just acting like he has all this money? Has he been hoarding money and not paying proper taxes? There's something he has to hide, or else he would have just been transparent from the beginning. But back to what you were saying about he didn't really think he was going to win, and he just took the ball and ran with it. That is an interesting lesson for people who just rise to the occasion. You know, if an opportunity falls in your lap, I think it was Oprah, or maybe Oprah was quoting somebody else that said success is preparation meeting opportunity. So if you're prepared and then an opportunity falls in your lap, you have to be ready to just take the ball and run with it that day. If you hem and you haw and you think about it and you don't know what to do and you're deciding, the next thing you know, the opportunity's gone and nothing ever happens. So that is a quality that will bring you more success, is if you grab those opportunities and just run with them, even if they were unexpected.
Donald Trump was not like Ross Perot. He didn't chicken out. No one could scare him. Ross Perot chickened out. He dropped out. And he came back when it was too late. And Donald Trump can't be scared. You know, people try to scare him. He just don't give a damn. He don't give a damn. He's out there, and he wants to make America great again.
Well, you may have people that don't agree with you on that, but back to what you're saying about not dropping out. You know, sometimes it is a good idea to drop out. Sometimes, I know you've mentioned that people just disappear from the open mic scene. When you realize you're failing at something, the successful thing to do is to drop out. I had a guy that invested in, an investor, very rich guy, invested in one of my businesses. It wasn't going well. I asked him for more money to do more marketing. He said, you know what? It's not working out. I'm going to pull out. I think you should quit too. It's a good thing to know when to quit if things are not successful, and just say, hey, this isn't working. I should quit. And you'll probably agree with this when you think about Hillary Clinton. She's thinking about running for a third time. You know, sometimes it's better to know when to quit, not just keep trying and trying and trying. And, you know, she's not backing down. She's not getting scared. She's running again and again and again and again, and not giving other people a chance, and messing it up for the other people that are contenders in the Democratic primaries. And it's because she has that same attitude that Trump has, that she's going to keep on trying one way or the other. But, you know, I think sometimes it's a good idea to know when to quit. You already lost twice. It's time to quit.
Oh, poor Hillary. you know, I just, one thing about Hillary, I'll just tell you, Obama ruined it for her. And Obama got endorsed by Oprah, and that was it. And the only time she had the chance to become a president was in 2008, and Oprah ruined it for her. Here came this Obama dude out of the blue and stole it from her. So from there on, it's never been there for her. So I don't know.
Yep. So yeah, it's hard to know when to quit, when to keep going. And there's advantages to both, kind of like being aware of, you know, being optimistic about your chances, but also being aware if you don't really have a chance, give somebody else a chance. But anyway, we better get into our show. We have some funny comics tonight or today, whatever time you're watching this, listening to this, scheduled. So take a listen. We have interviews. We have our live show. And we're back every week on Wednesdays. So check us out. Attention all drinkers. Attention all drinkers. Do you like a smooth tasting vodka? that goes down with no burn? How about Global Vodka, straight from Italy? Check it out. You can find it at global-vodka.com. Not only does it have a smooth, great taste, it also is gluten-free and organic for you health nuts. So try Global Vodka. You can find it at global-vodka.com, or next time you're in LA, check it out at Universal Bar and Grill. Welcome back to Dive Bar Comedy. I am here with two funny comics who happen to be BFFs. Jason Dugre.
Yes, hello.
And Candice Kregg.
What's up?
So we were just talking about some mutual friends we have on Facebook, and I don't remember if it's even my friend, but I have a method. I just want to tell you guys, watch out if we become friends. You know, if it's your birthday and you show up as one of those birthdays, that's my time for cleaning out my friend list, and you have like a 50% chance of getting deleted on your birthday.
Yeah. Well, I mean, isn't it weird about Facebook that sometimes you meet somebody once and you friend them, or you just see something that they did and you're like, oh, they know this person, and you friend them, and then you forget about it forever. But they're part of your friends on there for some reason, so it's weird.
I have like 1,040 friends or something, and I'm trying to
That's too many. That's why you
trying to get it under 1,000.
It's way too many friends. I don't eliminate people on birthdays, but I do find that the elections help to really weed out the dead weight. Like anytime there's some like political thing, I'm like, oh wait, delete. I've really cleaned house that way.
Not a bad way to do it. I also, when it's my birthday and people wish me happy birthday, but they do the HBD thing, they don't even like write the words happy birthday, I'm like, you know what? I don't think we're good enough friends. I think that wasn't a good enough birthday message.
Aviation's not true friendship.
No, not at all. HBD, come on.
Sing a song, people.
Yeah, do something. Put a candle emoji. Is that too much to ask?
Okay, that's mean though. I actually.
You eliminate people on their birthday.
They don't know because nobody. But you're right. That's mean too.
Yeah.
But because here's the thing: is if I want to go through all the 1,000 people in a row and try to decide who to eliminate, it's too many. It's overwhelming. Yeah. But if I get 3 or 4 a day on their birthday, it's just like a constant, you know.
It's true. It's like deleting emails, like just a few at a time once it starts building up to like 1 million.
Yeah. It's better to spend the time on those few people whose birthday it is, that you can get rid of them on that day, instead of doing them all at once.
Say goodbye.
My last birthday message to you. Never see it again.
I don't write to them.
So not even the happy birthday wish before they get kicked to the curb.
Do the HBD first and then delete it.
Yeah, there you go. That should be your calling card now. If I get an HBD from you, I don't even know if we're friends, but if I do, I'm be like, she's out. We're not friends.
She just pieced out on this situation. It's okay.
Well, anyway, I shouldn't have told you guys that secret. It's not really a secret, but it's pretty I think it's kind of funny.
It is very funny, and the whole podcast universe is going to know now. It's part of podcast lore.
Secret no more. Yep.
So, anyway, you guys, how did you guys meet and become friends, and how'd you end up on the same show together?
So we became friends because both of our children were in the same first grade class together, and there's a whole crew of us parents who get together and drink wine a lot, and we became friends.
Wow. And how'd you end up on the same show together?
Well, we were talking forever. I've been doing comedy a lot, but I do mostly sketch comedy. I started to really want to get back into stand-up, which I did many, many, many years ago. And she also did stand-up for a while, so we had that mutually in common. Yeah. So we were like, we kind of challenged each other, like, we need to do this again. So we got ourselves booked at Flappers, and then soon after, GT contacted us, and we were like, yes, we want to do another show.
Just doing shows together.
Doing shows, that's it.
And supporting each other.
That's great you're on the same shows. You know, GT's been poaching a lot of talent from Flappers, because that's where he goes to fish for people for the GT's Comedy Jam.
We were wondering, we're like, whoa, someone named what is this? We both got the same email? What's going on? But, like, it was awesome because then we get to do it together and, like,
it's great.
Support each other.
Yeah, that is awesome. And the thing is with, Flappers, that you had to pass the audition. You don't just
get to perform at Flappers if you're not funny. So you're already vetted and you're already professional enough to be showing up on time and doing your shows at Flappers. So it's a good way to screen people.
Yeah, I mean, I see.
Sense. Yeah.
We're really funny. I mean, we're.
Oh my God, we're so funny. Is the thing.
We're really modest too.
You're like Donald Trump, a humble genius.
Yes.
Did I just get deleted as your friend?
Absolutely. No. Not for jokes. You don't get deleted for jokes.
As long as it is a joke. Well, we know we performed with Jacob too, the guy that was sitting over here before.
Yeah.
That was cool to see.
Yeah, we met him. He's a super cool dude.
Yeah, we talked to him last time. Yeah, so that's fun.
You guys both have a couple of 6-year-olds at home.
8.
Oh, yours, mine's 9. His is about to turn 9 in like, what, a week?
I'm gonna have to update all my jokes.
Not first grade anymore. It's not in first grade anymore.
That's when we met, but now they're in 3rd grade.
Now they're 9 and they're giving us mad tude.
They're the oldest kids in first grade. You're like, we got the 2 dumbest kids in first grade. This is a joke. Let's do comedy.
But they feel really confident about themselves because they're like, I can kill this test right now.
And I can kill the other kids because I'm bigger than all of them.
I can push them over.
Exactly. My girl does jujitsu. She'll choke everybody.
I'm scared of her.
I have one more thing to add to this conversation, which I may have mentioned on a prior podcast, but this is important for everyone to know. If you're ever wrestling an alligator or a crocodile,
It's good. I'm going to Florida in a couple weeks, so I need to know this. Go ahead.
okay, there was this girl on the news, and she was 10 years old, and she beat an alligator off of her with her bare hands because she had gone to like a tour where they taught about the different alligators and what to do if one attacks you. They say stick your fingers up its nose so it can't breathe. It'll have to open its mouth, and then you can take your arm out of its jaws.
Oh, that's amazing.
Jeez.
I'm going to
That's-
purposely put myself in a situation in a couple weeks where I have to use that. See if it works.
Go.
Why not?
Yeah, go get in that swamp.
Yeah.
You know, hang
Cover
out with
myself in
some
steak.
gators, some nutria, and like see what happens.
I think it's a good idea.
I have a baby at home. I'm having another one, but I have a baby at home, and that's how I get her to stop breastfeeding, is I plug her nose.
That's a good mom hack.
I've known that. I mean, not that I was ever breastfeeding.
That is an excellent mom hack, and I appreciate it very much.
No, I mean, it's the only way to get her off. They have like this suction. It's unbelievable. They say, oh, stick your finger in the corner of the mouth to release the. It doesn't work.
No.
Doesn't work.
No, they like babies have jaws of steel. Like
From birth.
they clamp on, and it's just like it's game over. Yeah.
There's no way. I mean, like if I stood up, she would probably be hanging like the full body weight from my nipple. I mean,
Kind of amazing. That's like an evolutionary thing, I feel like.
yeah, but it could be painful. It could be painful.
For you, yeah, but for the baby's going to
For you, it's good survival for them. Yeah. Yeah, it's like self-preservation. That's that's what that's about.
Yeah, so I know how to handle an alligator. I know how to handle a baby.
They're the same thing, basically. One is a little less scaly, and you can't leave it alone in a swamp. And the other's a baby.
I'm so glad I prepared for you. I prepared you for your upcoming Florida vacation.
I am psyched. I actually feel like a little bit more confident about my... Because we're going to go on a fan boat. We're doing that. My son, yeah, we're going to Gator World. So I'm going to be around gators. And that's scary, because they're like sharks that can follow you out of the water.
Well,
I was...
teach your kid this trick of how to stick their fingers in his.
I'm gonna.
A nice swamp trick, though. We were in the swamp on a boat tour in New Orleans, me and my husband, before we had kids, and there was a lot of raccoons. And guess what raccoons like? Marshmallows. So bring some marshmallows with you, just in case there's a raccoon.
Are you trying to attract them more? Or you just want them to like it?
Cute. So you just give them a marshmallow.
Okay. Well, yeah, they probably like anything. I lived.
Marshmallows are kind of garbage. Marshmallows are garbage.
I lived in West Hollywood, and I basically raised a family of raccoons on my porch. I mean, they're everywhere. They're all over LA. So if you want to find a raccoon, just put out some cat food,
Yeah, and they're pretty like
some marshmallows.
they're pretty fierce, but I feel like swamp raccoons, they're just like, I've got these alligators to contend with. I'm just going to live my best life while I've got it. So give me your marshmallows.
I feel like the raccoons in like West Hollywood are like hipster raccoons. Like they compost their garbage. They like just collect it all and just like let it sit there for a little while. They grow their like little whiskers long and stuff.
I had a cat outside for a long time, so they knew they could come to my house anytime. So for years, they raised generations of raccoons, and my cat wasn't afraid of them at all. They were never fierce. They just hung out and were totally nice. So I don't know. I was a little intimidated by them, but they never did a thing.
Cats are kind of cool like that. Like, I have dogs, and, like, my tiny dog will have, like, none of it. He just, like, kills things all the time.
Wow. It's a killer tiny dog.
Yeah, he's kind of a jerk, but he's cute. He's lucky he's cute, kind of like my son, because they're both kind of jerky sometimes.
What has he killed?
He's killed a couple of birds. I came home to feathers in my family room. Yeah, that was super gross. It was super gross. And
these are cat things. These are cat things to do.
Yeah, but he's a cat size. Yeah. He's like a little like Chihuahua terrier, and he's killed that. He's killed like 2 rats, and 1 bird he brought in, but it was still alive, and flew around my house, and our house sitter had to like catch it with like a towel and like throw it back outside.
Better her than you.
Yeah, I'm so glad we were on vacation. I'm just like, thank God.
You didn't feed the dog when you left, and he had to go eat rats and birds.
For himself. Poor little Nick.
It is how it is. If he didn't pee on my floor so much, maybe I'd feed him.
Aww. I think that dog's about to get deleted on his birthday.
Yeah, that dog
will get deleted.
All right, you guys. Well, I look forward to hearing your sets. Where can people find you online?
I'm on all the social medias with my name, Jason Dugre, or the J-Fog.
How do you spell your Dugre?
Dugre.
Okay.
Canadian. It's a family heirloom. It actually has an accent on the E, but I only do it sometimes because I forget that it freaks people out. But I'm used to doing it because my grandfather made sure that I always put the accent on.
But not on Facebook or Instagram. There's no accent.
Oh, you can't do an accent. But like on my email signature, I can do it, and I have it. Even though my grandfather's been dead for like 30 years, I still feel like he would judge me if I didn't, because it's part of our heritage. It's an accent aigu. It's French.
Proud. He's proud of you.
And it's more fancy that way.
It's a little more fancy. But then, yeah, I'm on Instagram and Twitter, I'm the J-Fog, which is the words The Fog, which is a movie, The Fog, with the letter J in the middle. It's just a handle I had from like early on in email, and I've just never changed it. So that's where you can find me.
I used to be creamyho69 at AOL.com.
Yours is more subtle than mine.
Understated.
What about you?
I'm on all the social medias. Like, I need to tweet. I don't tweet, but I'm on there. And Instagram and Facebook. Yeah, I'm on there.
Under what, though? How can they find
Candice Kregg.
Spell it.
GG.
All right.
It should actually be, let me just say, it should be Krajewski. Because my husband's Polish, and they abbreviated the name, and I'm black, so I've always wanted to be Krajewski because I feel like people would, like, talk to me on the phone, because, I mean, you hear my voice, and then, like, they would meet me in person and be like, Candice Krajewski, what the F? Yeah.
I like Craig, but I would have thought it was, like, Craig, like the guy's name, Craig.
No, abbreviated Polish.
All right, people. Well, this has been fun. I can't wait to hear you guys. I'm happy we have some real friends on this show. It's so sweet.
Real friends. And we're going back to back, apparently.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
We'll see how that goes.
I'll do some callbacks to your set.
Awesome. All right, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Hey guys, you need flooring because your floors got messed up during the last party. You need flooring because your dog urinated all over the place and it's all brown and stained and it's buckling and it's warping because of your dog. You were out doing comedy. No one was home. Well, log on to selectflooring.biz. Selectflooring.biz. B-I-Z. And hit them up. Call them up. Say, hey, what your situation is.
We about to throw it down. We got another wonderful talent coming to the stage. Ooh, I like this name. It's like I don't know if y'all know about that new girl that play football. She like a strong safety. This girl got a strong safety level kind of name. You know what I'm saying? She got a C for the first letter, a K for the last name. I like this name. Or she drink a lot. I don't know. But maybe. We'll see what it is. Or she might be like the dude from motherfucking the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles crying and shit because he be in the body. All right, anyway, I'm getting too deep into this shit. But show some love and put your hands together for the wonderful young lady coming to the stage, Miss Candice Kregg!
everybody, what's up? My name's Candice, and I hate working. It's the worst. But, you know, I have a pretty good job, and at least I'm not my old job, which was freaking awful. The hours were way too long. The pay was never enough. The pole was always slippery. Yeah, when I was a little girl, I never thought I'd grow up to be peeling my wages off my ass. But you know, stuff happens. I was a stripper, which is like any other job, except when you get a raise, you really don't want it. Stripper.
Oh shit, let me get my camera off.
But yeah, like I was. And I remember back in the day, sometimes I worked the morning shift. There's a morning shift. And I could never wrap my head around it because I was just like guys, like fellas, is that like how you want to start your day for real? Like giving some naked woman your money, eating an omelet in the dark? Because I don't know, I've never gotten up in the morning and thought to myself like, God, I'd love just a nice cup of coffee, a croissant, and maybe some sweaty dude's junk in my face. I'm gonna take it on down to Harry's Coffee Bar. No one has a flakier croissant. But yeah, like I did it for 6 years, which is actually, you know, kind of a long time. And there's levels to it. Like, you know, I kind of became a bit of a fixture there. But, you know, when you've been doing it like maybe like a year or less, you know, you're more like a shiny new bike, right? You know, the gears might stick a little bit and like the brakes are a little squeaky, but, you know, everyone wants to take you for a spin because they don't know if you'll blow them or not. That's not the best analogy because bikes can't blow you yet. But then when you've been there, like, you know, like maybe like 2 to 4 years, you have to ask yourself a very, very difficult question. Silicone or saline? But, you know, similar to Miss Savannah, we're in like the Real Boobies Club because these are, I was born with these. Well, I wasn't born with them. I wasn't a baby with a rack because that would be weird, you know, trying to crawl, cans dragging the floor, you know, half eating lollipops stuck to her jugs, trying to squeeze milk out of them. Babies are dumb. So I'm a mom now, and yeah, I have 2 kids. I recently had my second child, and no one kind of told me that going from 1 to 2 was such a jump, you know, because my daughter, she's 9, and she's just hitting me with so much drama these days, like just all in my face with the drama, and honestly, she's kind of being a dick a lot of the times. And then like my little one, he's like 18 months, and he's like biting and crying and swiping, and he's kind of being a dick. So I got this one in my face, I got that one in my face, and back and forth and back and forth, and wait, hold up. This feels familiar. This feels like my 20s. Like, I think going from 1 kid to 2 kids is like being in a shitty threesome. Because, you know, there's some similarities. Like, I can't sneak out of this one in the middle of the night. Like, I'm in for the long haul, right? And then, like, you know, you try and put the, like, toys in the situation, but the batteries are always dead. You know, and when it's all said and done, there's going to be a mess for me to clean up. It's a similar situation. But, you know, I'm trying to teach my daughter, I have a 9-year-old daughter, I'm trying to teach her to be like, you know, a strong, young black woman, you know, in this world today. And, you know, I'm trying to bone up on Black history and all the things for her. And she loves history and that type of thing. The only issue is that, you know, I'm her mom, and I'm really garbage at being a black person. Pretty bad. Like, you know, ask me who the greatest soul singer is of all time. Daryl Hall from Hall & Oates, duh. I also really love sandwiches and Miller Lite and voter suppression. No, I don't. That's just hella white. Yeah, my, wait, did I go light? I don't know what the light is. No? Okay, well, let's keep going. Yeah, it's always been kind of issue for me, especially when I was dating, and I'm married now, you know. I've been married for almost 13 years now, but into a white guy. Shock? No? Okay. But when I was dating, I would date all different types of guys, and sometimes I would date black guys, and eventually in the relationship, it would come a time when the dude would be like, girl, you know, I can't do a black voice. I'm gonna tell you what they'd say. They would just be like, you know, girl, like you can be yourself. Like you can talk how you really talk. And I'd be like, really? Like, oh my god, I am so relieved that I don't have to front in front of you. I think this is gonna work out. All right, thank you. I'm Candice Kregg.
Another round of applause for Candice.
Hey ladies, you want some hot deals on sexy styles? Check out everydaysweetheart.com for everyday great deals on cute and sexy outfits, clubwear, mini dresses, leggings, sexy lingerie, and guys, feel free to stop by too and find something hot for the girl of your dreams. That's everydaysweetheart.com. And for 10% off, use the friend code TAKE10. That's TAKE10. Thanks a lot.
So you guys got to show some love. You ready for this comedian coming to the stage? That's right. So we're going to get him up here. Mr. Frenchie himself. I don't know what his name is. He might be from New Orleans. But show some love for Jason Dugre!
Thank you. Just French.
Ah, there it is.
But it is close to Dupree. We talked about that earlier, which is weird. How's everyone doing tonight? Liars. No one's doing that good. They're just walking down the street screaming at people saying how good you're doing. My name's Jason Dugre. I'm going to tell you about myself. I'm a Libra, which means, you know, absolutely nothing, because it's a made-up thing. I try to be a good person, but also, you know, I saw the film Cannibal Holocaust, because, you know, life is all about balance. Speaking of balance, I'm having a hard time balancing my work life and my home life right now, because I don't have a job. And I'll see those guys, like, spitting the signs, like, on the street corners and stuff, and I'm always like, loser. And I'm like, oh no, wait, that guy has a job. And then I go home and I take a shame nap. But I'm trying to get a job. You know, I'm going to my favorite places like Shake Shack. You guys like Shake Shack? I love Shake Shack. Nobody likes Shake Shack. I love them. You know, you hear about these restaurants that like they'll spit in your food or they'll like drop your burger on the ground and rub it on the ground and stuff and like then like serve it to you. But I like Shake Shack because they are transparent about that stuff. They give you a shake, they put a sticker right on it that says contains nuts. I'm like, all right, at least I know where that hair came from. Thank you. Also applied to Trader Joe's, which I just kind of want to get in there because I need to see a blueprint of a Trader Joe's. I'm convinced all of them have a section that just says, and right here, built the shittiest parking lot in the world. So while I wait for those brilliant opportunities, I'm a stay-at-home dad, which is, thank you, that's how I like to say it, because it sounds better than all my lifelong dreams have been shit on and left in a dumpster and I'm gonna watch this kid. Because it's all how you say things, it's all in the language, you know what I mean? Like, if I came up to you and I was like, hey, you want a couple of eggs? You'd probably be like, yeah, sure. But if I was like, hey, put these in your mouth, they came out of a bird's vagina, you'd punch me in the face. And I would deserve it. So it's all in the language.
No, it's a tough job, but you learn so much. The biggest thing I've learned about being a father is I just forgot what I was going to say. That's true. That happens a lot. Anyone here have memory problems? How would you know? You have no idea. But getting old can do that as well. I'm not old, but I'm like 21 again. But I mean, no, I'm actually 21 again. You know? Let's just say that I'm to an age where I don't need every party to go to the break of dawn, and I kind of want them to end at some point, eventually. Like if I get a hard out time on your e-bike, that would be awesome. I was at a party recently, actually, and I saw this porta potty, and the name of the company was Call Ahead, which I thought was brilliant, and I was like, there's no way that this company didn't start with the name first. Like some dude was just at home and he thought of it and he was like, oh my God, oh, that's just too good. Oh, well, fuck law school. I guess I'm in the portable shitter business now. And he is. And he also has a job that I don't have. But it's fine because I'm putting all of my energy and time into, raising my kid, making sure that he's a productive and smart, citizen. The other day he interrupted his kung fu teacher to tell me that they were working on focus in class that day. So he's thriving. I'm clearly doing my job really well. But being a stay-at-home dad does have little perks here and there. One of them is, I get to stay at home, which is great. But I also, meet a lot of hot moms at the park. That's right. But it's awkward because, obviously they're probably married and they'll know that I'm married because my son's a narc. But no, my wife's cool. At least that's what she wrote in my notes to say in that joke. I do love my kid, but it's just that I hate all the other ones. They are all a bunch of braggers. All they do is come up and they're like, I'm the fastest, watch this, I'm the best flipper. I can flip around really great. I'm the best baseball player. There's one kid came up to me and he was like, I'm 4 years old and I take care of my baby sister all by myself. And I was like, oh really? And then I called child services. And I was like, there's no way that this baby is being properly cared for. The kid had a lollipop stuck in his hair. All right, I'll end on this one. It's great being a dad. My son is now 8, and it's funny how the older they get, your priorities change. Like right now, I want him to do well in school. I want him to learn the golden rule, like do unto others, whatever, yada yada. But there was a time not too long ago that all I wanted in the world was for my son to realize that there was a letter G in the word grapes. Yeah, that's true. All right, thank you very much. Let's hear it for the other comedians. Mista See. Sorry, I didn't have any racist jokes.
No, that's all right. I like that you don't have racist jokes. I like non-racist too. One another round of applause for Jason. Merci beaucoup, my brother. Merci beaucoup. You know what I mean? And once again, we want to thank Global Vodka for sponsoring the event. Thank you guys for hanging out all night at the GT Comedy Jam. Persistence is the key.
Hey guys, you need a party tent, you need a commercial tent, you need a tent because you have no garage? Well, log on to webtentsale.com, WEBTENTSALE.com, and check out our site. This site is designed for commercial tents, party tents, and anything but camping tents. So if you need a tent because you have a party and you need to buy it instead of renting it all the time, you're tired of throwing your money down the drain, well, go to our website, webtentsale.com, and check it out and order your tent right now.
Hey there, comedy fans. We are here live from Universal Bar and Grill. What's up, GT?
Man, it's starting out quiet.
Well, we're early. We're about an hour and a half early for the show.
But anyway, I am here. I'm Wild Joe. I am here with a newcomer on our show, a comic going by the name of Dana. Hey there.
Hey, how are you tonight?
So, Dana, you're like Prince or Madonna, just a one-word name?
Yeah, hey, you know what? When you're that good, you can just use one name, right?
Yeah, I actually, I was just talking to another comic that we're going to speak to in a minute here, Savannah Kay, about how I use the word Wild Joe because I don't necessarily want all my family and coworkers to hear all of my raunchy comedy.
I kind of feel the same way. I'm a little bit older, and I've got teenage kids, and maybe they don't need to hear all of it.
Yeah, God. I mean, it sucks because when you're young, you have to worry about your parents finding out about all the dirty things you say, and then I guess when you get older, you have to worry about your kids finding out.
Yeah, and actually, a lot of my set revolves around my mother and things when I was growing up, so maybe I don't want her to hear everything either.
Yeah, I always had this idea that, when I'm an old lady, I'm going to go wild because my parents will be dead by then. I'm going to be wearing hot pink mini skirts, and I'm going to be going to senior citizen porn. Who knows?
I waited my whole life to actually get in and start stand-up. I waited till the kids grew up. I am 50 years old, and I just started this year.
Well, you have great skin. If this was a different podcast, I'd be asking you your beauty secrets right now.
Oh, my God, thank you. That's really sweet.
So, GT, what's been going on? Where did you meet Dana?
Flappers. She gets booked at Flappers. She's loved at Flappers. You get booked a lot there?
I'm actually going to be there tomorrow, too.
I love Flappers. I used to get booked there a lot, but then they stopped because I wasn't bringing enough people.
Well, I was really excited to meet GT, and I'm very excited to perform down here. I've heard nothing but good things.
Oh, good. So our reputation precedes us.
It does.
Great. Have you ever performed in a dive bar like this kind of place?
Actually, I grew up in a dive bar because that's what my parents owned growing up.
Oh, wow. So this is like a second home for you.
Yeah, when we bought the bar, there was actually a go-go girl stage. I was 8 years old, and I, cried for the stage to be brought into my room.
So what happened? Did they bring it to your room?
They actually couldn't fit it through the door. It was too large.
But they tried.
They did actually try. My parents were going to do that for me.
Oh, what nice parents.
Yes, they were very nice.
Where did you grow up?
In Philadelphia.
Okay. And then how long have you been in L.A.? And did you come here for comedy, or you just happened to come here?
Actually, I am out here because my daughter is an actress, and I came out here for her, and I've been doing writing, and I wrote this really great mob comedy, and I went to Flappers to see if anybody thought it was funny what I was writing, and that's how I ended up getting booked. People thought it was funny.
Mob, like mafia mob?
Yes, like Mafia Mob. It's a comedy, and it's really about how women are the true rulers of the mafia families.
Very interesting. Very interesting. Have you ever had any run-ins with the mob, GT?
I don't know if they're mob or a bunch of wanksters or a bunch of, I don't know what they are. I have at a wedding one time.
At a wedding? Wow. Well, we'll have to hear that story sometime. Yeah, I could see that. What do they say? Something like the woman behind the man or something. Like, I don't know. But who really controls the strings or something like that?
Yes, in the Italian family, it's whoever controls the cooking rules the family.
I can see that. So that's neat. That's really fun. So is that going to be produced or you're trying to get like a group together to get it on stage? Or
I'm actually working on the funding. I've written it to be like a Netflix type special where it would have like a lot of episodes. So I've got a pilot episode and 6 ready to go.
Ooh, wow. So you already have your actors and all of that stuff?
I have who I'd like to cast in it, but they're big names, and you can't really attach them until you actually get your funding.
Yeah, that's true. But honestly, if you get one of them to say yes, then the funding will probably follow.
This is very true. So I actually have written some letters to those people in hopes that they will want to read it.
Nice. We're out here making it happen, getting things done. So how long have you been doing stand-up?
4 months that I've actually gotten on stage and done it.
Wow. And were you writing jokes before that?
No, I was writing some screenplays and the mob comedy.
Okay. Well, that's cool. So you're a newbie. We're not going to judge you too harshly, but we don't judge people harshly anyway. But, some people, they've been doing it for 4 years or 14 years or 40 years, and they're still not funny. So don't let
your inexperience stop you.
Well, hey, you're comics. You have to judge people. That's what comics do.
And don't expect comics to laugh at your jokes.
I never do.
All right, Dana. Well, I can't wait to hear your set, and I'm glad to have you on the show.
Thank you so much. Looking forward to it.
LA residents, are you tired of slippery floors? Are you afraid you might slip on your tile? Well, check out tightgripla.com. It's a local business coming out, surveying your floors, and treating it with a non-slip solution, a semi-permanent non-slip solution that will keep your floors safe, whether in the rain outdoors or indoors in the kitchen or bathroom areas that sometimes get wet and very slippery. So if you want safer floors and to not get injured while you're just walking around, check out tightgripla.com.
You guys ready for the next comedian to come to the stage? Yeah. Are you ready for the next comedian to come to the stage? Yeah. Goddamn right. So the next person coming up got a single name like she Prince of Madonna or some shit. I don't know, arrogant motherfucker.
She's from Philly.
Oh shit, I'm from Philly too. I'm Mary, cuz. Yo, where you gun at? Where you gun at? Oh, all right, okay, sorry, that's a Philly thing. All right, look, don't call the cops. Anyway, you guys ready for this wonderful Philadelphia lady coming to the stage? So put it together for the D-A-N-A. They call her Dana.
So always nice to see another Philadelphian in the house.
Right.
I haven't met anybody from LA who's actually from LA yet. Seems to be an interesting thing here. So if you couldn't guess, I'm Italian, just like Madonna. That's kind of the one name thing. And I'm very proud to say I come from a very long line of batshit crazy Italian bitches. It's kind of like what we do. So we have a couple of ways where we can get you to do all of the things that we want you to do as batshit crazy women. We'll either feed you to death, or we will guilt you into whatever it is we need you to do. And when I was growing up, my mother had this really cool tool. She called it the eye. And I'm wondering if when you guys were growing up, did your mother have the eye? She just would close one eye, and it would just kind of quiver a little bit. And I don't care what room in the house you were in, when that eye closed and started to quiver, your shit stopped. You were like, oh shit. And sometimes she would bring in this low, gravelly voice, and you'd hear her say, stop. Or, what did you say? That was pretty terrifying when you were a kid. And even as a 50-year-old woman, when my mother calls me up on the phone, I can hear when the eye actually goes into effect. And I'm like, oh shit. You know, you'd think by now I might not be afraid, but if you grew up with my mother, I don't care how old you are, you'd still be afraid. And the reason for that is because she's batshit crazy. She was batshit crazy when she was young, she's 74 years old, and she's still batshit crazy. So when my mother walks into a room, she has the Tom Cruise effect. And what I mean by that is she's not masculine, you know, she's not a Mission Impossible star, but when she walks in a room, the woman is 5'2", but you actually think she's 6'6". So she's scary when you come in. And when she walks into a room, men kind of feel intimidated. Kind of start hitching up their pants. They're like, oh shit, like they're gonna have to fight her. But if you've ever met a batshit crazy woman, you don't fight her, because you know she will take your ass out. So when I was young, one time I remember we went to the supermarket, and this woman starts screaming. And we're walking down the aisle, and she's screaming, hey, you stole my purse, you stole my purse. My mother whirls around, and she grabs about 10 cans of LeSueur baby peas, and she's machine gun Kelly these suckers right in this guy's head. This guy's about 3 times her size, and he's battered and bleeding. My mother just walks up and grabs the purse, kicks him, hands the purse back, says, come on, right back to shop. Doesn't miss a beat. It's all right with her. Meanwhile, I'm this little kid going, what the hell happening? That's how she rolled. A couple years later, we're on a subway. nothing like LA subways. They're dark, they're smelly, they're dangerous. There's a whole group of these rowdy teenage kids, and they're spitting on people, and no one stops them. There's my little mother, 5'2". She takes a look around. Yeah, she's batshit crazy, so you know she's not going to accept this. Now, I realize what's going to happen, and I'm like, oh shit. And I'm starting to hide and duck and wonder what's going to happen next. She jumps up on a seat. She starts grabbing things out of her purse and hurling them. She's screaming at these kids, come on, you little fuckers, Smith, Weston, and myself, we'll take you out. And all of a sudden, these teenage kids who were not intimidated by anybody are looking at her, and then I think they all realized, oh shit, she's batshit crazy. They turn and they leave. Not one person in the car thanks her. The minute the train stops, the car is completely empty. Everybody leaves. But we at least got to ride in peace, which was nice. Now, when I was young, I grew up in a bar just like this. My parents owned it. And I didn't think that batshit crazy people were allowed to own bars, but apparently they are. So, our bar was actually right next to a fabulous gay bar that used to have all kinds of shows. And in the back alley, there'd be hundreds of people gathered every weekend, and they'd be riding a mechanical bull and partying. And so one Sunday, we're cleaning the place, we're closed, and a guy walks in and he's a burglar. Takes my mother 3 seconds to figure out this guy's a burglar. Next thing I know, she puts a Smith & Wesson in the back of this guy's head. So he's much bigger than her. He just kind of stops. My mother says to him, take off all your clothes. Now I think for a brief second he was all horny thinking, oh, I'm going to have a good time with 2 chicks here. And he looks at her and he realizes she's batshit crazy. So he complies and he takes off all his clothes. My mother, being the Italian woman she is, decides, here's a good life lesson. She says to him, walk outside. So he walks outside with her out onto the fire escape. She says, walk down to the fire escape. Guy looks, he realizes there's about 150 gay guys having a wild party. He looks back at her and he goes, shoot me. She goes, no. Walk. So he starts walking. He's getting a little scared. Right about when he hits the last step, she leaves this big whistle, and all the guys look up. All of a sudden, she screams, yo, boys, this hottie's looking for a good time. Pushes me in the door, closes the door, and goes back to work. But that's what batshit crazy people do, right? Of course it is. Well, I want to thank you. My name's Dana. Follow me on Instagram. If you don't, you'll get the look.
Yeah. Another round of applause for Dana. And that gangsta ass Sopranos mama. I ain't playing with you bitch ass motherfuckers. Outside naked, get you some stuck in your booty.
Alrighty, that is our show for today. Thanks for checking out Dive Bar Comedy, and tune in every Wednesday. We're on iTunes, we're on Spotify, we're all over the internet, and we're on divebarcomedy.com.
Yeah, April 25th, we have a show coming up at the Liquid Zoo. But first of all, we have another a show coming up Thursday, March 28th. March comes way before April. So March 28th, 8 p.m., show up.
Yep, you can check it all out at the gtscomedyjam.com webpage or on Facebook on the GT's Comedy Jam page. Thanks a lot for listening.